came out of a different topic, a couple different topics. Of course, because I'm not too great at this, I just thought of something else to add about Epstein, so we'll do that at the top. And then we're going to get into the mural. So let's finish up Epstein for a second. Let me check my connection here. Okay, yeah, we're good. So we just talked about how Epstein obviously Epstein can't be murdered, right? Like you got both sides of the media that both say that he's dead. The only thing that they disagree on is the way that he died. What's up, guys? Welcome. Pogo. Operation Pogo. I don't think that's a real operation though. I think it's fake. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming. If you guys weren't interested in this, I'd just be here talking to myself. All right, so for those of you that just got in here, I'm going to add one more topic to Epstein that I forgot about, and then I'm going to talk about we're going to do the mural. If YouTube fucking lets me on live stream. I've tried to do it like 3 times, and they keep cutting off. It keeps cutting off right when I talk about it. So. Yeah, so the last thing to add to Epstein, you can check the other one if you didn't see that. It's the prior video to this. It's called Buck Wild. So you have to use like if we use some logic, right? It should be like. Does anybody know if that the guard duty, was there any actual disciplinary action on the guards for Epstein? Does anybody know? At least on paper. Like maybe they just said that they got in trouble, but they really didn't. But do they even have a record of like? So okay, so Gerald Darden says, do you mean that like you've looked and there was no disciplinary action taken? One of them was fired. Okay. But there were two guards and one got fired? Oh, they lowered it up. Yeah, okay. Did like the guy who ran the fucking prison get fired? At all? Like it's ongoing? It's pending. Well, my point is that in an instant where you have such a high-profile criminal dying, like committing suicide or getting murdered, either way, like everybody's getting fired. Like the guy who ran the prison is going to get fired. The fucking person that runs the wing is going to get fired. Like it's just going to be fucking getting fired. You know what I mean? Unless they have like a super tight crew with like a real solid like leader, and then he takes it all, and then you're gonna get the top guy fired. You're not gonna get the bottom, the fucking person sitting at the fucking desk gets fired, especially not like one. Like if there's 2 of them and like one gets fired and the other doesn't, and that's not gonna happen because there's no like what prison was it, or what holding facility? Was it a holding facility or an actual DOC facility? Was it like a county jail? Or like a overnight lockup or something? Metro Correctional, yeah. So they're not fucking sleeping in Metro Correctional. Has anybody here ever been locked up in Metro Correctional? County's Buck County? Okay. Alright. I seriously doubt, given the construction. What's that? James Deegan? Do they sleep in there? All right, the comments are a little laggy, so. Oh, they get street. Snake Jones says, I've been locked up with high-profile millionaires. They get street food delivered. No shit? Are you fucking with me? Hello, Darby. Thanks for coming. Welcome to Your Brain on Doug's. Yeah, of course anything's possible, right? Yeah. There's got to be some explanation, right? Like, but you get what I'm saying? Like hi Jesse, thanks for coming in. So regardless, that's just speculation. That's just speculation. But what you like? Let's say that in fact you just had your CQ desk or whatever, and you got two guards, and one of them falls asleep, or like one of them goes and takes a dump or something, the other one falls asleep. Well, if one of them gets fired, it's just going to look really poorly on the leadership. You know what I mean? That's not good. So they never do that. It's always like, especially something high pro. Like if you have like a fucking nationally renowned, notorious, prisoner that's like pending a fucking international child sex trafficking investigation. Like, that's not. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't make any sense at all. And if shit was somehow that fucked up, where they just have two fucking Nimrods guarding the motherfucker and they both fall asleep, then it's like, the fucking guy who runs the fucking prison is gonna get fired. They're not gonna blame it on two people that make like $30,000 a year and be like, oh, done with that. I guess the country won't be able to heal from that one, thanks to you, CQ desk. That's not gonna happen. They're gonna it's gonna go all like, I know when I was in the military, the level of profile of an incident was directly related to how high up the chain the fucking shit sandwich, the shit ball rolled. It would just roll uphill. So like if you were, doing something fucked up, but it was just totally like, there's no way to like you just did that. Like you were, I don't know, like fucking pissing out your window on a sergeant major while he's walking by or something, like that's you. Like you're gonna get in trouble for that. But if you're like, I don't know. I can't even think of an example. If you're doing something that's like super fucking high profile and gets in the papers and shit, they're gonna fucking try to fire everybody up to the fucking, battle space commander. Just look at the fucking, like the dudes that were pissing on people in Afghanistan, the fucking scouts. They hammered them, but they tried to go all the way up the chain. And this is Jeff Epstein. This is like the entire country was already sore about Pizzagate and no investigation. And then they like finally get this guy and everybody's like, oh man, maybe we can get something here, like some kind of hope. And then they're just like, nope, and it's gone. All right. So that's Epstein. I want to move on. We got to get to the mural, right? Because people want to see the mural, or they want to know about it. This is the story of the mural. This is going to get a little heavy, okay? So, September 11th, 2001, the planes crashed into the towers, killed, thousands of people. Okay, so you've got, on the anniversary of September 11th, on 2002, you have it's the first anniversary ceremony for the World Trade Center. So this is like a big deal. This is like, like all the people who lost family members are like, this is a part of like formal, procedural closure through the state. Like what little state, like the state can't really do, state is kind of like a cold beast, but they got a lot of money and fucking people and manpower and shit. So it's like, the least that they could do is have some kind of like formal recognition of like, you lost a lot, and for the people that lost lives, So this is like a big deal because it's the very first one, right? Like you can have as many as you want afterwards, but like this one's like a big deal because it's like, they've never done it before. And some people probably like moved like way the fuck away from New York after that, and they're not gonna come back, but they're gonna come back for this. It's a big deal, So like on ground zero, you've got like the carved out space where the World Trade Centers used to stand. You've got like steps going down with like a formation. Thousands of people. You got like the president, obviously the president there. Tons of politicians, tons of senators and things like that. The on the, I guess it would be the north wall. I don't know. One of the buildings, there's a giant mural that got put there. It really blends in because the graphics on it are a, uh, it's got the Statue of Liberty and it's got a giant American flag. So like it blends right the fuck in. Like like it's for the decor. Like with the the theme of whatever they're there for. So like it's really subtle. It's super fucking size of it. It's gigantic, like the size of a building. Okay, that's number one. It looks like it just fits right in with the ceremony. And number three, you gotta think of like all the people that had to put this up. Like there's like this is not like one guy hanging something. This is like whatever is required to, they're gonna need like cranes and shit to put this fucking thing up. So this is like when they coordinated this. Like I don't know if you've ever done, like, I don't know, fucking ceremonies and shit, like big ceremonies in military and shit. But like, you know how much shit fucking goes into that. Like, the higher the brass, the more bullshit you got to do. So like, this is like they're scrambling around to do this for sure. Before they're, everybody's gonna be doing the best that they can. A lot of hands, a lot of eyes, double checking and fucking looking at everything. Right? There's no mistakes, especially something that big. Okay, so if you find the picture, then you are going to see the text, and the text is going to say at the bottom, it's going to say, the human spirit is not measured by the size of the act, but by the size of the heart. Okay, that statement at first glance to a normal person that doesn't critically, analyze shit sounds fucking totally normal, right? Like that sounds normal, right? Okay. When I read, I saw it and I read it, and then I was like reflecting on it. You know what I mean? Like 9/11, and I was like, well, it's not really the size of the heart; it's the size of the act. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was thinking, right? And I thought that's weird that they would put it like that because, it's like this. It's like, here's an example, right? If you're standing on a street corner and there's an old lady struggling to get across the street with her bag of groceries, and then you're like, oh, poor old lady, she can't get across the street. That's like your heart, right? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't make any fucking difference. The only thing that matters is if you decide to get your ass up and go over there and fucking help the old lady. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if, like, you can fucking think about helping people all day, but if you don't act, this is what I was thinking when I saw this, and I was like, I could not stop. Like, when I saw this mural, I did not stop thinking about it. Like, there was just like, I was like, why is this shit fucking reversed, right? So I look it up. It's from a comedian named Yakov Smirnov. That's like Yakov, like FF, Smirnov, Smirnoff, Yakov Smirnov. Yep. So he, got a wild hair up his ass to bring out this mural. What's going to happen? Why are you stopping it? Just let it go. They're going to fucking figure it out. Holy shit. Okay, am I back? Okay. This is a test. I'm saying test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that clear, or is audio broken up, or is video broken up? Okay, good. Okay, excellent. We are continuing on. We're gonna fucking Charlie Mike this shit. I got no fucking idea what's going on. Okay. So the mural, the exact text of the mural was the human spirit is not measured by the size of the heart. No. Fuck. Sorry, I just fucked that up. I said it how it's supposed to be. The actual mural said the human spirit is not measured by the size of the act, but by the size of the heart. That is backwards, and that's what made me go on this fucking goose chase to figure out like the entire fucking history of the mural. It's made by Yakov Smirnov, okay? So now I gotta go in there and look at fucking Yakov Smirnov because I can tell right away that he's a Jew, and Like, that doesn't mean, fuck. That doesn't, it like, it's a place to look, okay? So now I'm going to look at Yakov Smirnoff. He's a Eastern European immigrant Jew, which is fine, whatever, right? The he's also got a PhD in psychology. That's important to note because people that get PhDs in psychology are fucking smart. Okay? Now, then I looked, so Yakov Smirnoff is entirely known, like his entire like field of like comedic professional, is by word rearrangement. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, and then he's like known for using a chiasmus. So chiasmus is when you rearrange two words out of order in order to give a deeper meaning for someone to understand. Like to understand what like it explains what the actual meaning is of what you're supposed to get. But the only way that you can do it is by mixing up the two. So it's like a very specific thing. Like you have to have the right words and you have to have them in the right place in a sentence structure. And then they have to be meaningful like both ways. And then you switch them around and then it fucking like, boom, boom, oh, whoa, you get a deeper meaning, right? Okay. So the mural is a chiasmus. The actual text are we good here? I am fucking 5 inches away from a Wi-Fi on a hill. Okay. All right. So the mural is a chiasmus, and what it's supposed to say is that the human spirit is not measured by the size of the heart, but by the size of the act. That is what it's supposed to say. It's supposed to say you can, think with your, want in your heart inside, want something, all that you fucking want, and think that you're, acting nobly, or that your thoughts are pure, or that like your intent, right? It's like you can think in your heart that your intent is good and great, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is your act, right? And the reason that he's putting it in a chiasmus is because he's trying to fucking send, it's like a message in a bottle that he's sending out to sea. And nobody saw it. I've never read anybody that's ever seen it besides me, so I don't know if the message is like to me, like, I mean, I doubt it, but it's pretty fucking, like there's some shit going on here, right? SMC81C. Hey man, are you okay? I mean, I think so. Am I? Or you tell me. All right. So you guys tracking that? Are you guys, I'm in my fucking truck. I'm not in the healing room. Are you guys tracking that or what? Okay. Do you understand the significance of that? Okay. You don't understand the significance of that. Okay. What he is saying, basically, it could be a lot of things, but the way that I see it is that he is saying, what he is saying, he is putting a giant sign in front of everybody in the United States, including the President of the United States and all the national television. And he is saying, you people are not going to win because you act based out of your internal heart that you don't express in the world, and you're unable to control your actions. And so necessarily, like, you're going to lose over time, like you're not going to get where you want to go. And there are an entire group of people that are so smart that are going to look at this message and understand what I'm writing, but you're not going to see it. And this is like, I'm putting this message out there on a giant mural on your 9/11 because I can. Like, because you're not going to catch it, because you're not going to see it, because you're, not intelligent enough, or you don't have perception to that degree because you're not critical thinkers. Because of that, I can put this message out there and other people can read it and they can understand what it means, but you can't, even though it's like addressed to you. And that is how superior, that is on some degree. I'm not saying it's out of that he's like, saying he's like superior. Well, yeah, I am. I'm saying that he's showing with an act that he's superior. Do you get what I mean now, or what? That is the mural. That is the story of the mural. It's a flex, exactly. It's a flex on multiple domains. It's on the physical domain, it's on the intellectual domain, and he's also describing like the entire purpose of Judaism is acting. Like it's like acts, like committing acts is Judaism. Like it's not like Christianity and shit like that is about internalization, like you are, like it's like everything inside, right? And then the external is like not so much. I mean, it's you're not supposed to do certain things, but it's like, like you can go have a war or whatever with Christianity or whatever, and it's fine, even though it, thou shalt not kill. But the Judaism is not like that. Judaism is like 100% like the acts are the only thing that matters, and that they add up for the rectification, like the tikkun, right? So that's like, so automatically he's including Jews in it. So he's talking about Jews. That's what he's saying. He's saying that Jews are better than Gentiles, and he's putting on a giant mural and putting it out there. It's also kind of, now to be fair, it's also kind of an invitation. Yeah, I know, Snake Jones. Fuck. It's just a general example. I guess I'm asking for it if I misquote a fucking commandment. I'm just saying like, one person's murder is another person's kill. It just depends on who you ask. It depends on whose odds. Right? So this is the mural. This is the mural. This is the mural. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's a expression of dominance at ground zero. And he's fucking right. Like, what, he did it, nobody fucking saw it. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, and I don't think it's all that bad. Like, I think it's creepy as fuck, and like, I see other things too. I see shit like that a lot, but this is significant because it's ground zero, and he got away with it. Like, he's not even, like, he didn't even have fuck all to do with it. He just showed up and was like, let me put up this giant mural, and they're like, yeah, okay, and he paid for it and put it up. Well, you have to go back and watch. Okay. So Eric wants me to talk about the satanic symbolism. Now, I don't, okay, so we have to get into, I'm not going to use the term Satan, and the reason being is because, Judaism and Christianity have a very different conception of Satan. They're extremely different. And so I don't like to use the word Satan because it automatically has multiple meanings depending on the religion. And so if I use the word Satan, then it means something entirely different to one watcher and entirely different to another. But what I will say is I will describe what happens. So at the ceremony, you have some steps that go down to the ground zero. And the ground zero had a circular, it's a circle. It's a perfect circle. like short wall that is almost like shaped like, it's almost like wishing well or something like that is like what it makes you think of. It's dry. There's no water in there. It's just on dirt. Like everything's dirt because it's like ground zero. So it has a very like post-construction type feel. Like if they just leveled the foundation or leveled your plot preparing to pour a foundation or something at a construction site. That's how all ground zero kind of gives off that feel in the 2002 anniversary ceremony. Okay, they've got the circle wall on top of that. It's a perfect circle, and then they bring in people in a formal marching ceremony, and then they come down there and they get in the shape of an eye, right? Well, the eye is like, and it's not just like, I'm not just saying like, oh, it's kind of an eye. Like it's a fucking eye. If you look at CBS footage where they have like aerial footage from like a helicopter, they're pretty much looking at like a bird's eye view, and you can clearly see that it's like a fucking, it's got like two corners, for like the edges of the eye. The fucking center circle is like your cornea, It's just like, and then there's even a pupil. There's like a smaller circle in the very middle that's like a pupil. So, yeah, the eye of Horus. Yeah, it can be the eye of Horus. It can also be the eye of Ra. There's subtle differences between the two, and it doesn't. I'm not going to use the term Satan because I don't want to throw that out there because I just don't even know fucking enough about it. All that I know is that, they've got an eye out there on the 9/11 ceremony, and nobody gives a shit why. Nobody asks why. And it's, like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, like, it'd be like if you went to somebody's funeral, like somebody's wife dies or something, you go to the funeral and like put, I don't know, like a pair of socks or something or I guess like a pair of you put something on the casket or something that, it just doesn't belong there. And it's like, what is this? Like there's no way to take it except offense if you don't understand, right? Well, I don't understand the eye thing. I understand the mural. I don't understand the eye. Ball and raw. Yeah, that could, and it could be, Osiris. Yeah. So, all that stuff, right? Like, what are we wanting to get into theology now? Is that what we're going to get into? Jordan Pryor says God is not dead. You are very correct. God is fucking here, and he's gonna come here a little bit more, and you guys are gonna fucking see him one way or another. Now, do you want to? What are we talking about now? What do you want to talk about? I can't speak on the black cubes of Judaism because it's too secret. They don't even, I don't know. There's a lot of shit that's like surface level. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk about. Okay, now we're going to talk. We're going to talk about some shit. We're going to talk about some shit. Okay. Oh man. All right. So everything that I'm about to say now is my own personal perspective, and it's gonna differentiate from like, there's no book about this shit that I know of. Like, so I'm not going, anything that I say, do not construe it as like that I devalue your religion, because I don't. It's difficult for me to explain this idea because I don't have a solid enough grasp on it, and so I can't explain it well to you in a satisfying way that I would be satisfied in. But basically, all the religions are real. Like anything you fucking think of is real and has a place. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to get into it deeper than that. I mean, I know that's confusing, but what my point is, I'm not trying to don't construe anything that I say that it as like me telling you that like because I'm not like going lockstep with whatever fucking religion that you have, and just citing everything that you wanted me to say, that like I think that you're not that you're wrong, or not not gonna go to heaven or whatever. I'm not saying that in any of this shit. So just take it at face value, okay? Whopper. Just say Whopper. That's what he said. System 3 said, just say Whopper. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. So in the Tanakh, and the Bible, and like your Abrahamic religions, you have like the old old characters. Like you guys are first of all, you guys are familiar that like in Genesis, it says that it doesn't say like man is made in God's image. It says let us make him in our image, like plural. You guys know that, right? And that, don't construe that to mean that I'm saying that there's like multiple gods. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's an important distinction, right? It's very important. Okay, so I guess what we should talk about is the concept of machine. Is that what we should talk about? Do we want to talk about machine? Is anybody here familiar with machine? Like as a phenomenon, and how it's connected to like physicality and reality? Like Mashiach gonna come, Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna talk about it. Here we go. This is gonna be hot fucking coal fire for anybody that doesn't want to hear what I say. They're gonna be like, oh. Okay. So I'm sure that you guys know in Christianity, which is like that's like I'm from a Christian family, like a Southern Baptist family. Okay. I am not a religious person now. You know what I mean? I have a very close relationship with God, and I pray all the time, like all the fucking time. And I don't pray for pretty much anything except for God to show me my purpose, and that's it. Like whatever purpose He has for me, that's it. I just want to serve it. Like just fucking give it to me any way you want it. If I can find it, I'll fucking search for it and snatch it, and that's it. That's all I pray for. One time I prayed for some clouds to move out away from my son. And that was it. That was all. That's it. That's the only like selfish thing I prayed for. Okay. All right. So, in Abrahamic religions, they talk about people like that are like like patriarchs, like the patriarchs in post Abraham. Avram, like they have patriarchs, and the patriarchs, like everything has a character, right? Like there's character to it. Like each of the people has like characteristics, like expressions and characteristics, right? Now, when I am speaking about relativity, like contrast, how I was speaking earlier today, a few podcasts or a few streams back, I know in my perception, I can fucking definitively understand what I'm seeing. And I didn't see it when I was younger. I see it now. It is very difficult to explain. But as time goes on, like I'm getting a better handle on it, and I'm able to express it a little bit more. I believe, the way that Judaism looks at Mashiach is like they view it like a tree with roots, right? And so you have like the root will give off on generations the like in Christianity the Messiah is Jesus, right? In Judaism they have multiple messiahs, like many messiahs. No, Drew, I'm just chewing really low quality grizzly. Sorry to disappoint. Okay, now if you're not familiar, all of the Jews today that call themselves Jews believe that they're from Yehuda, right? And Yehuda has very specific characteristics. And if you look at the time when, Joseph or Yosef was in charge of Egypt, there's there's a lot of stories. And the differences between the stories, like where they are the same, is the character description, right? So there's like multiple stories throughout. And then of the different stories, it'll be different stories, different scenarios, but the behavior, like the interaction that they commit, the act that they commit, is the character of the soul of that, person in the story. And they all have different ones. Yehuda. Okay? So this is what is coming up. There is a Mashiach ben Yosef, which is from the tribe of Ephraim, which is the brother of Yehuda, which is considered all the Jews today. Okay? Ephraim is lost, like gone. And even back in Egypt, Joseph would be, he like ruled, he was like the second in command under the Pharaoh. And they didn't know, they didn't know he was Jewish. They didn't know he was they didn't know he was an Israeli. Like Jewish is a modern term. That's not what we're talking here. We're talking, the son of Ephraim in, the tribe of Ephraim, rather, Joseph. Okay, so the first Messiah, as you would say Messiah, as they would call it Moshiach, is Joseph. And the reason that he's going to have to come is because everything's all fucked up here on earth. Like, everything is fucked up right now. And there is clearly God wants to reveal presence more, but can't because nobody's ready. Everything is, but it's all like in a line, right? Like it's all a process. So it's like constantly changing. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking, when I say Israel, I am talking about, okay, when I use the term Israel, I should have said this. Okay. Yaakov, which is the same guy that made the mural. The guy that made the mural's name is Yaakov. Well, Yaakov is the name for Jacob, right? Like we say Jacob now, but it's Yaakov, right? So Yaakov got his name, he got his name changed to Israel by an angel. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about when I said like Israel. So Israel is the seed of Yaakov. The Jews are Yehuda. The Ephraimites, Ephraim and Manasseh and all that shit, they're lost, like, in the world. And nobody knows where they are. Like, not only does nobody know where they are, but if fucking Mashiach ben Yosef was here and went to the Jews, they would fucking cut his head off. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna fucking recognize him. They're gonna fucking hate him. And not only is this like an obvious, like you can just deduce it, just coming up with a scenario, but like it says it in the book, like in the prophecy for the future that hasn't happened yet. It says that they're gonna fucking kill him. And it says they're gonna kill him, and then after he's dead, they're gonna realize that they killed him, and then they're all gonna cry, like that's what it says. Okay? But what the Mashiach ben Yosef is a preparatory conditioning of planet Earth, of people, to, along with the divine like presence making itself manifest in the world, along with the Jews' tikkun. but slowly, from the bottom. And so like Joseph comes out of the ground, like in the earth, like where we all, I don't mean he like comes out of dirt. I mean like he's not coming out of like popping out of the sky or something. He's just like among people. Okay? And then from the bottom, he will connect later with Mashiach ben David, which is what they say, And then Mashiach ben David is from the other direction, like from the sky. Mashiach ben Yosef has a center motive of like, preparing the world. He's like changing the world, right? And Mashiach ben David, his center is like his energy center is like Malkut, which is like expression, like order and like giving divine order and shit. Okay. No, we fucking lost everybody. Okay. No, it's too much. It's too much of a different everybody's on a different page. Like, you guys don't even understand what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. That's fine. I didn't really want to get into it anyway. What else? What are you going to want to talk about? You want me to keep on talking about the Mashiach or what? Chinese war? Don't stop? What do you want me to do? You want to talk about Chinese war or don't stop talking about Mashiachs? Okay. Everybody, so Mashiachs? Okay. All right. Fuck the comments. Okay. So here's the entire conflict in Earth right now is that the Jews want a fucking rabbinic Jew to come up and be the Mashiach. That's not going to happen, because if they were ready, if they were like spiritually ready with their tikkun, then Mashiach ben David could pop out of the sky, and then like, and then they have a conception of what that's going to be like from the word, like specific ideas, very specific ideas, like certain conditions that will be met. But that's not going to happen, because there's so much fucking injustice in the world that if now there are Jews that are far beyond any, I'm sure that like I'm sure I do not know what the fuck I'm talking about, but this is my perspective. Okay? Now, I have read a lot of Jewish writing, like biblical writing and shit, learning this shit. The Jews think that they're fucking good to go. Like either they don't discuss any of the shit that I'm talking about, or they don't know, or they know and they never fucking talk about it. But the Jews do know about, like, they know about communism and they know about Jesus, like, and they think that they made them both, like, so the Jews are aware that they started fucking communism all over the world and killed hundreds of millions of people. Like, they're 100% aware of it. Now, every Jew does not know this, but the Jews that are into, Jewish history and theology and shit know this. Well, okay, Texas Proud says the Jews are going to follow the Antichrist. They will say he is the Messiah when he isn't. Okay, well, the only problem with that is that they're going to get two fucking Mashiach, number one, so, like, you're missing one. So, in your case, you would say that, like, the first Mashiach, which would be Ben Yosef, which is like a much more humble, it's like a very humble Mashiach. And he's not like, I mean, he is there to fuck shit up. Like, make no mistake, like, he's coming to fucking flip the table. But it's not like a fucking, the second Mashiach is like the ruler. Okay? The first Mashiach comes to fight God's war. The second Mashiach comes to to rule in God's order. No, this is all Jews. What I'm talking about, this Mashiach concept is all Jews. This is not now because of the way that Jews look at reality, which is particular to, like I've said before, that everybody has their own sight. When I say that, I mean that literally. Like I mean that every human being has their own sight and conception, but it's not just like an idea. It's like your literal picture that you see with your eyes and your senses is individualized and is not the same between people. It's also not the same between, like, I don't want to say genetic groups because that gives a mischaracterization. What I'm trying to say, no, when I'm talking about, okay, I need to make this clear. What I'm talking about now is my opinion, number one. This is not, you need to go talk to Jews if you want Jews' opinion. Number two, I am talking about all Jews when I talk about the messianic concept. This is like the only purpose of Judaism is what I'm talking about. So like all Jews will know this concept. Okay? Now, the Mashiach, like all the character, like all the things that are in society, like all the expressions of divine presence that come through men are relative to what's around. Like the vessel of the human flesh and what occupies it is also subject to contrast, just like everything else. And so like the Mashiach comes and is manifested through men by the relativity of everything else, like all the conditions and other bodies and shit, And so like the concept is that every single generation has a Mashiach, but it's also dependent on unlocking from the Jews tikkun, from like the mitzvah, So like if they're like and the shuva, right? Well, the second Mashiach is dependent on the shuva. The first one is just gonna fucking come, like because it's from the bottom up. The second Mashiach is from the top down. They're inverse because that's the connection between earth and God. No, it's not. Jews, oh man. No. Okay, look, you guys, I'm trying to explain to you, I am trying to explain to you a bunch of fucking complicated shit, and I am doing a really bad job. And I'm hot. I'm gonna turn on my AC because I'm getting nervous as fuck trying to fucking explain something like this and fucking it up. Okay, so like you guys are reading this right now, going like telling people what to believe and shit, like in the comments, like don't believe he's this one's bad and this is like just stop. You all have different sight, okay? None of us fucking know what's going on because we're not God. Okay? None of us fucking know what's going on because we're not God. We are all going to get a big surprise. Even the Jews. I promise you that. Whatever you think about Mashiach, like Mashiach is coming no matter what, because there is a physical like material-based effort to bring it in the first place. And so even if it doesn't come, like you're gonna get a LARP about it. But if the actual Mashiachs are two Mashiachs, and they're both gonna fucking come too. I'm just saying this, I'm not saying whatever God does, God's gonna do. You know what I mean? So if a bunch of Mashiachs come and then like that's not it, and then Jesus is gonna come and wipe them out, and that's just gonna happen, you know, like like there's no, you know, like. But what I'm saying is that there's no, I'm not saying that. Let me think of a way to attack this. Let me think of another way. I'm gonna think. How do I explain this? Okay. Everybody that's born has a purpose. Okay? All truth, that is actual truth, goes to the same fucking place. And we don't really know where that is. Okay? But we're going to find out where that is. But we're all going to the same place. Everybody, when we stand here, wherever we are in physicality, and we seek to destroy what we perceive as like another world that shouldn't be there, like someone else's religion, and when we stand here and then we fight and kill each other, even though we vehemently deny the other religion, and they vehemently deny, you know, may deny your religion. So you have two people denying each other's religion and fighting to the death or whatever. They are doing so from the same earth, right? Like, it is from the same place. And so this is an important thing to understand. What the fuck is going on in these comments? I mean, this is like indecipherable. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do, because we have a lot of Christians in here. And some of them are new here. You are going to get beheaded. You know, which is, by the way, that's in the Christian Bible, in Revelations. You are going to get beheaded, you know, when the Sanhedrin gets stood up, regardless of whether or not you believe that this is true or not. Like, this is what's going to happen, and it's going to be your own people here that are going to behead you. If like in America, in the United States, if you can't shake off the things that are affecting people right now that make them do things that they don't want to do. Just like the cops have to deal every fucking day with like the system that's in place and have to do shit that they don't want to do, and it ends up getting people killed that they didn't want to get killed. But it just fucking happens, right? That is going to evolve and snowball until one day, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but you can imagine how long the transition from now to the end point would be. You are going to get fucking decapitated by a court of your own flesh and blood, that is your own brothers, here in the United States, and it is going to have a fucking American flag on it. That's the most direct thing that I can tell you that is absolute on the current course. Like, if we are just on the current course and keep going, that is what you're going to wake up to, that reality. No, this is not a metaphor. This is so Christianity is considered idolatry in Judaism. The reason why it's considered idolatry is because in Judaism, God is unified, but in Christianity, it is a trinity. And they believe in Satan as a separate entity. Whereas Judaism believes that Satan is like everything is a manifestation of God. And so because Christians don't believe that, they view it as a, it's idolatry because it's multi-deity. And so under court, which is like where they use standards to, enforce crime, or to enforce punishment for crime, you get decapitated. Okay? The second thing that Christians should know is that in Judaism, Jesus is a Jew that came here to attempt to push the Messianic era and failed. Okay? So like when you guys are like, so Christians believe in Jesus, the Jews look at it like Christians worship Jesus, and they believe that Jesus is a Jew, he's not the Messiah. And so it's idolatry, and so you get executed. And the way that you have to get executed is by beheading, so you're going to get beheaded. Fuck's sake, come on. Like, you guys are just twisting, like this is not what God wants. God does not want me to try to fucking tell you something and then you take my words and twist them and turn them into something that I didn't fucking say to try to influence my perception. Like, I don't know what the fuck God is doing or what he wants because he hasn't come down here and fucking told me, okay? But he's making shit, there is shit happening here and it involves everybody. Like, I'm just telling you what like a general description of somebody else sees. All right. Ridley Edwards says, "What is this? You fucking tell me, Ridley." Yeah, we need a fucking flamethrower moderator in here to fucking blaze these comments out. Holy shit! It's not like I care what you guys. I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I just like try to consolidate it because it's just like a fucking constant feed of gibberish. Galil versus Velmet. Well, I don't even know what to talk about. What do you want to talk about? What are we even talking about? I won't look at the comments, but give me some direction to go. Okay. Do you want to know? How about this? Are these mostly Christians in here? Or who's in here? Is this all Jews or what? If the Jews in here, they're probably fucking laughing at me. I'm trying to fucking explain this shit. Alright. Okay. This is what we're going to do. I am going to pull up, because you guys think this is a fucking joke, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up some video for you. No. That's not it. We're cooking over here. I know that when I'm doing these streams and stuff, I sound like a fucking asshole because I just like cuss all the time and I'm just like very irreverent sounding. That's just like, that's how I communicate on the fly. If you don't like it, I don't know, you should have made a better America, I guess. But you should have made a better English language. Internet. Come on, internet. Okay, they scrubbed it. We'll go to YouTube then. I'm sure YouTube has some. Alright, fuck, this is taking too long. I don't feel like doing it. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a description. So there are like the U.S. Senate is opening with prayer, talking about Noahide laws, like, and has been for fucking 15 years. You got that? So like, do you remember how I gave this description of how NIMS is getting seated and how they don't have any autonomy anymore, and like, you know, like the police departments are getting seated through NIMS, through DHS. Well, that's economic. Well, there's a spiritual version of this going on, which is because everybody's atheist, you know, pretty much, even like a lot of religious people are actually, you know, like inside they're atheists. So the like, they don't care and they don't notice when somebody comes in there and starts like talking about Noahide laws, you know? And so you have a bunch of senators that are you know, like welcoming Noahide law, basically, and like it's happening in a like formal ceremonial sense, like they're dedicating their prayers into it, but it's going to move beyond that, and it's going to go into actuality. Abdullah, what's up? What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Soul brother. How you been? You doing good? No, I'm not talking about Baal and Moloch. Okay, how do I do it? I'll let you in here. How do I do it? Let's see. I click on your name. Let's see. Shit. It only says, it gives me a bunch of options to like limit you and shit. It doesn't give me the option to add you. Let's see. I can report you, I can remove you, I can put you in timeout, I can hide you, or I can add a moderator. You probably don't want any of those, do you? Let's see. Why do you guys care if Trump gets in a second term? Add mod? Okay. We're gonna add a mod for Abdullah. So Abdullah is he's from Iraq, but he's living in Canada. And I told Abdullah that we would do a live stream. We would get him on a live stream. Who I bring into the fold? I'm putting him on a fucking live stream in my car. In the fold. I don't have any team, okay? I'm on like Team Humanity. If Abdullah wants to get on here and fuck up this chat, that's fucking fine. That's a great question, Abdullah. I'm not sure how you get on here. I'm trying to figure it out. Abdullah, I'm sorry. I don't know how to bring you in here. Let's see. I'm looking for an invite button. Why would I? What? Come on, guys. I'm just like pressing buttons on my screen trying to find something. Nope. I'm sorry, Abdullah. I can't figure out how. Can you do anything on your end now that you're a moderator? Google Hangouts? Okay. Abdul, let's do this. Let's get together an email. Did you ever send an email back? You have Discord? Okay. Well, why don't you and me, let's figure out something together and like set up and make sure we got our fucking components matched up and shit. And then we'll we'll set up a live stream and then we'll do one where we can talk. I can't really. It's probably not a good time now because I'm not gonna stay on here too much longer. So let's set it. You want to send me an email or something and just let me know, and then I'll. Okay, that sounds good. I'll look for your email when I'm off this chat, or probably tomorrow morning. I'll look for your email tomorrow morning. Okay. All right. What else you guys want to talk about? I'm not talking about fucking machine anymore. I've already fucked that up enough. No, I mean, here's the thing, right? Okay. Everybody's getting blackpilled. I blackpilled everybody. I'm sorry. Okay. What I'm telling you is that the solution to all of this is to identify and understand that you are human beings and that you can survive on the planet with what you got. Like, you're fucking delivered here for a purpose and you can fucking make it with what you got. What we are doing as humanity is making a bunch of shit that we don't need. And then in the process of doing so and creating the illusion that it's what we need, we are missing everything that we actually need, and we are filling every fucking second of our existence with things that are not only not what we need, but are in the way and blocking what we actually need. And I mean that on all levels, spiritually, physically, and societally and morally. And all of this is only possible because of the beast that is money as a technology, and it being used by everybody, including, everybody from fucking children all the way up to when somebody dies and you gotta fucking buy a casket. Like, it is completely embedded into everything, and it's entirely unnecessary. And the way that we have lost anything at all is by that, through money. And there is no hope of ever escaping if you do not stop using money. Like, it is the first step. Like, we need time right now. Everybody is working all the time and doesn't have any time off. Like, what we have off is very minimal, and then you got to do other shit. Like, we do not have time to do anything except for breed and eat sandwiches and die and procreate. Like, that's it. There is no time to like think or do anything really smart. And so we're not gonna evolve. And so because we're not gonna evolve, you're all gonna be put into a fucking, basically like a cattle order, because you refuse to act to evolve. You have to come up with something else. Okay, somebody asked me if the revolution is coming in the United States, the second one. We are not going to have a revolution. We are going to be fucking attacked, like, for keeps. Like, we're getting taken out. So, like, at this point right now, we don't stand a chance because the population has no fucking clue what is going on to any degree. There's like multiple degrees of awareness, and nobody has any fucking idea what's going on because everybody is busy buying shit. They don't give a fuck about anything. Everybody's just like, I got, and it's not their fault. I mean, it's not, you can't blame them because that's the way that we've built this shit for fucking 100 years. Like, it's just a fucking self-eating, like, prison that you can't get out of because it's all bad, because it's all based off economics, which is a fucking bottomless pit. Like the velocity of consumption of economics is like limitless. Like, it's just going to keep on exponentially increasing in velocity until it like surpasses people, like humanity. humanity's state of velocity is like way lower. Like we have been outpaced by economics, and because we've refused to let go, we're just going through crash cycle after crash cycle for hundreds of years, like over and fucking over, and not learning anything. So the first way to get off money is that you need to have the ability to resist it. You don't have any ability to resist it because everything that you need to survive is completely dependent on money. And the reason for that is because, like, we won't as a group accept, like, people can just have water and food and shit like that. And I'm not talking about communism. I'm just talking about like you can't even put a fucking tree in a, like a fruit tree in a house in a city because of like ordinances, you know? You can't fucking collect rainwater in cities because of ordinances. Like, so we have built a top-down consolidated system that's vertically integrated, which is the opposite of God. It's, if you go out in nature into an ecosystem that's balanced and you cut down a tree, it doesn't fucking matter. What we have made is like one big ass tree that has nothing else around it. So anything that fucks up any time, whether it's war or like you want to do a revolution or anything like that, you cut off you cut off the tree and it just fucking destabilizes everything, you know, and then we just build it back up. We have to horizontally integrate, not vertically integrate. We've done a vertical integration model. That is the wrong way. We need to horizontally integrate. That means that, like, instead of having a central power plant and central water and central fucking trash disposal and central food and central, you know, fuel, like gas or wood or whatever, this has to be decentralized. So every fucking house, every abode, which like our concept of a house, of like how we construct houses, is entirely on the same model. So it's like wherever we're gonna live and how we're gonna live has got to be set up to provide all of the things that are required to live for people. And the reason that is necessary is because if somebody else is bringing it to you, then you are reliant on them. And so all that someone has to do that wants to control you is just control them. You know? So when you centralize it, all they have to do is control the central resource, and now you don't have any choice. Because if you don't do it, you're going to fucking die. You see what I'm saying? And people can calculate this in their head, you know? They can calculate it in their head. They just can't accept it on a surface level and like say it. And so they resist it socially. But it's the reality, and you're gonna fucking watch it unfold if we don't get our shit together. So we are being forced in a system, but it's by each other's consensus. So it's like at this point, you know, you could get away with like a town setting up a model like this, like getting together and doing a decentralized, horizontally integrated town where everybody's like providing for each other, like it's redundant, right? If you did it for like a state, it would cause a fucking civil war. Like they're not gonna let you do it. You know what I mean? So this is the whole problem. Like you have to get off the money. They're not gonna let you off the money. So like you have to. But what we want to do, like what anybody wants to do, is just fight on the same system, and then take the system and go with it. Well, it's like that's how you got here. You can't just fight and take the whole shebang as it is and just like think that you're gonna handle it. Like shit's all fucked because that's all we've done for like a fucking 1,000 years. Like you need a. No, I mean countries. I mean like people in this chat. They're talking about like the revolution and shit. Like their conception is that everything's fine in the system. We just have like bad rulers. Well, that's not it. It's that the entire system is bad because it doesn't provide for people's needs. It's exploitative. It's not because it's profit driven necessarily, because that's what money does. Like you can't have if you have a economic engine that isn't based off of like profit and consumption with economics, that's called communism. And what communism is like it's just an extremely inefficient version of the same fucking thing as like like what we have. You know what I mean? It's just you're just throwing money in a hole to just like artificially stimulate and keep it alive on life support the whole time, which is exactly what happened with all communism ever. So you have to realize that that's not a fast communism. Like you could take money and just do something else. Like these are the same things. Just like when I did the color card example and I pulled out the two gray colors, and it was like you looked at me, you're like, these are two fucking different colors, obviously, right? Like these are the two. Like this gray is darker than this gray, and you can see it. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. That's the way it looks. When you pull the motherfuckers up from their contrast, you see that they're the same fucking thing. What I'm saying is that communism is the same thing as what we have. I mean, literally now, but like, I mean, in terms of the possibility, like all the roads lead to the same place. They just lead to oppression. Like you can't use money. I mean, it's a whole fuck. And if you're Christian and you're in here, you should remember, like all the passages in the Christian Bible talking about like, you know, like a rich person can't pass, you know, can't pass into heaven or whatever, you know, similar to like a camel going through a needle's eye, right? That's what they're talking about. And if you're Jewish and you're in here, you should refer to like Ezekiel, where, you know, he talks about the end times and how people are going to be throwing their fucking money in the street because they don't want it, because they're going to like try to get rid of it and they can't. You know what I mean? Like they're going to try to redeem, like have redemption when after God comes, you know, down. And no, I am talking about barter. I'm talking about I don't know if this is possible, guys, to explain this. I've already explained this pretty thoroughly, and if you didn't get it then, you're not gonna fucking get it now. Well, okay. Lorem says, damn, I was wrong, so let me try to explain. So you can't, like when you use money, it is a replacement for something that you actually need. Like you don't need any fucking money because it's just paper. Like you can't eat it, you know? I mean, I guess you can burn it, but that's about all it's worth. But we substitute shit that is like highly valuable in our existence, like that we depend on, for money. Okay? And so like what happens is, because it's a float and it just represents the thing that we actually need, it always gets out of whack, and you can just make as much as you want of it, and then you just go fucking consolidate and take all the resources, you know, and control them. Like somebody is going to. It doesn't have to be the Jews, but they've done a pretty good job of it. Yeah, right. Until it's spent. Exactly. So what you're talking about, so J. Colnorm says, quote, money isn't worth anything until it's spent. And that's true. And what he's talking about is Gresham's Law. Okay? So Gresham's Law is an economic, you know, observation of like the behavior of the technology of money within the confines of the law of the universe, like the universal law, which is this bigger thing of like contrast, right? What Gresham's Law states in economics terms, like if you went to school and learned about Gresham's Law, it says that, you know, in a system where you have a less valuable currency and a more valuable one, the more valuable one disappears, right? It disappears out of circulation. Like if you had a coin, like in the United States, we used to have coins with more gold or more silver. And then when they put in diluted coins that didn't have that, and they were actually worth less, but they were like, you know, their fiat value was the same, equivalent. What happens is that people, because it has more value, they keep them more. You know, like they identify value with their brain, and then they pull the motherfuckers out of circulation. So eventually all that you get is the less valuable coin. What that observation, Gresham's Law, is narrowly applied when they use it. They're using it to describe the mechanics of how money as a technology works under the greater, like, universal law of construction, of creation. In reality, Gresham's Law is not limited to money. It's fucking everything. And it's like when you're buying shit, that's what's happening. Like you are taking something that's worthless, it's not worth very much, and then you are keeping the good or consuming the good, and you're throwing away something that's worthless. You guys got it? Or what? Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Unless you guys got something really cool to talk about. Okay. Okay, have a good night, guys. Thank you for the coming to the stream. These have been kind of a bummer because we've been talking about bummer subjects, but you know, we'll get back. You know, we'll get back on track. You know, we're just gonna keep on powering through and talking about shit, and then we'll come back around, and then we'll get, you know, high spirits. Okay. So don't get depressed. Don't get black pilled. Everything's good, but we gotta make acts, right? And the right act is not to go. Don't go around canoeing people. Don't go around fucking stringing up Jews. All right, that's not gonna fucking help you. We need to help ourselves. Okay. I'm sorry, Abdul. I'm not on Instagram. Did you send me an email? Just Abdullah, yeah. Okay, cool. I will get with your email and respond. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Have a good night. Okay, sleep tight.